Right now, not last year, not hypothetically, right now, private jet terminals in Dubai and Muscat have become the most expensive parking lots on Earth. Charter brokers are reporting a 300% surge in demand. A single one-way seat from the Gulf to Europe is selling for up to $350,000. Not a plane, a seat. The people paying that are not panicking. According to security firm Global Guardian, which is currently managing the evacuation of over 1,000 corporate employees, they describe the mood as calculated urgency. They are not running from something, they are running to something, 4 specific cities, and the money moving into them right now will tell you more about the next decade than anything you will read in a newspaper. Here is where they are going, and more importantly, why. First stop, Panama City. And before you picture jungle and beaches, look at that skyline. This is what insiders have been calling the Singapore of the Western Hemisphere for 3 years, and in 2026 they are finally being proven right. Here is why the smart money is moving here. Panama runs on a territorial tax system. If your income is generated outside of Panama, from investments, from a global business, from remote work, the Panamanian government takes exactly 0% of it. Your offshore wealth is legally invisible here. For residency, the friendly nation's visa requires a $200,000 investment, either in real estate or a fixed-term bank deposit, and it is open to citizens of over 50 countries including the US, UK, Canada, and the entire European Union. Processing time, 2 to 4 months. In 2024 alone, 3,200 people were approved, a 52% jump from the year before. The qualified investor route, which gives immediate permanent residency for $300,000 in real estate, is currently priced at that level only until October 2026. After that, the threshold is expected to rise to $500,000. Panama is not a tropical escape. For a wealth holder fleeing a region that just lost its airspace, it is a US dollar economy with zero tax on global income and a back door to both the Americas and the Pacific. But for those who refuse to leave Europe, and many of the world's oldest family fortunes have no intention of leaving Europe, there is only one city that has been quietly fortifying itself for exactly this moment. For the families who refuse to leave Europe, there is exactly one destination, and it is 2 square kilometers, Monaco. In the first quarter of 2026, real estate prices here hit a record €100,000 per square meter. That is 5 times New York, 8 times London, and it is still selling, because what the buyers are purchasing is not square footage, it is physical neutrality. Monaco has the highest police-to-citizen ratio in the world, 1 officer for every 63 residents, the most surveillance cameras per capita in Europe, and a 727-year unbroken record of political stability under the Grimaldi family, including through both world wars, 0 personal income tax since 1869, 0 capital gains tax, 0 inheritance tax on Monaco-held assets for direct descendants, and a government that has spent 7 centuries perfecting the art of staying out of other people's conflicts. In a world of digital disruption, airspace closures, and frozen borders, Monaco is the only place in Europe where the chaos outside is simply not permitted to enter. That is not marketing. That is 727 years of documented precedent. But the final destination on this list is not a city. It is a generational decision, and what happened there in November 2025 just sent a message to every wealthy family on Earth. And now, the final boss. Not because it is, the most exciting destination, but because it's the most permanent one. On November 30th, 2025, Switzerland held a national referendum. The proposal, a 50% inheritance tax on all assets above 50 million Swiss francs. That's roughly $62 million. The result? 78.3% of Swiss voters voted no. Every single one of the country's 26 cantons rejected it. Not one came close to passing it. That vote was not just a tax decision, it was a signal broadcast to every family office, every private bank, and every billionaire on Earth. Switzerland has chosen, for at least another generation, to remain the world's safest home for inherited wealth. Switzerland's 300 wealthiest residents hold a combined $1 trillion in assets. The country has no federal inheritance tax, only cantonal taxes, which in cantons like Zug and Schweiz are, well, effectively zero for direct descendants. And according to EFG International, one of Switzerland's largest private banks, Switzerland remains the #1 destination for international private banking globally. The families fleeing the Gulf today are not just finding a temporary safe house, they are making a century-long bet on the only country in the world where the voters themselves, not just the government, have repeatedly chosen to protect the wealth of the people who live there. They are not hiding their money in Switzerland, they are giving it a permanent address. So, here is what the movement of this money is actually telling you. The billionaires are not running from a war. Wars end. They are repositioning around a permanent new reality. The era of predictable, stable, low-tax geography is, contracting. The number of places in the world where wealth is genuinely protected, legally, politically, physically, is getting smaller. Panama for geographic distance and territorial tax freedom. Monaco for physical security and European neutrality. Zurich and Geneva for generational wealth protection backed by direct democratic mandate. These are not vacation spots. They are the cities that the people who built the last century are betting on to define the next one. If you want to understand where the global economy is actually going, subscribe so you don't miss it.